Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to my morning news report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. State sued over involuntary psychiatric boarding. New Hampshire chapter of the American Civil Liberties Union has filed a class action lawsuit on behalf of psychiatric patients being involuntarily held in hospital emergency departments. State law requires involuntary psychiatric patients to get probable cause hearings within 3 days of admission to determine whether they are a danger to themselves or others. Under the state's interpretation, the clock starts when someone is admitted to the state psychiatric hospital or other inpatient facility, but lawsuit points to a Merrimack County court ruling that said the clock should start at the time of the emergency room admission. The lawsuit names the Department of Health and Human Services and Southern New Hampshire Medical Center as defendants. The lead plaintiff is a 26-year-old man who was admitted to the emergency room at a Nashua hospital on November 5th after a suicide attempt and was held involuntarily without a hearing for nearly a week until his status was changed to voluntarily. The lawsuit was filed Saturday before his status was changed. SNHMC released a statement on the lawsuit saying, in part, "We regard this legal action as an opportunity to voice our concerns with the current system and to offer any collaboration support that will help the New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services facilitate resolution so that patients may have expedited care and service without violating their rights to due process." The Department of Health and Human Services referred questions to the Attorney General's office, which did not immediately respond. The lawsuit highlights a problem the state has struggled with for years. A report released Tuesday by the New Hampshire Community Behavioral Health Association notes that the number of adults waiting for inpatient beds has steadily increased since 2015, peaking at a one-day high of 71 adults and 27 children, aside from a few inmates. They are all awaiting in the emergency room, and most, if not all, are deemed to be held involuntarily because the state psychiatric hospital does not accept involuntarily admissions, said Ken Norton, Executive Director of the New Hampshire Chapter National Alliance on Mental Illness. He welcomed the lawsuit as a necessary step to what he called the systematic discrimination against people with mental illness, and said he hopes it will spur a solution to the situation he has long deemed medically, legally, ethically, morally and economically wrong. A sweeping bill to reform the state's mental health system last year included a provision requiring the development of a plan to ensure timely hearings of patients held involuntarily in the emergency rooms. But a planned pilot program involving 4 hospitals was scrapped in part due to safety concerns about strictly setting up many courtrooms in hospitals. The lawsuit filed in federal court asked that the state's practice of denying due process to such patients be deemed unconstitutionally, but Gillis Bessenton, the ACLU attorney, said he hopes it will also prompt policymakers to take action to address the wider problem. Mobile crisis response teams helped 5,152 people avoid emergency room admissions in 2017, according to the report from the Community Behavioral Health Associations. But such teams are based only in Concord, Manchester, and Nashua, leaving a large areas of the state uncovered. Peter Evers, CEO of Riverbend Community Mental Health Center, said he hopes those teams will be expanded, but he also believes the state should consider increasing the number of inpatient beds. DHHS is set to unveil the drafts of its 10-year mental health plan next week. Mental health advocates said they hope the plan will include more community-based services so more people will be diverted away from emergency rooms. And that does it for my morning news report right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you back here later on today for another news report. Goodbye, everyone.